Another aspect is my hands. She stretched out her slender and white hands. These were the hands of a surgeon, clean, white, and calm. My hands can cure other people's pathology, and they can even replace scalpels to perform surgery on the human body, Zhou Care said, and slowly walked to Yang Xinshin. Yang Xinshin looked at her in surprise. Sister Care, what are you going to do? Zhou Care squatted down with a smile. I want to try to see if I can cure your legs. Before Yang Xinshin could refute, Zhou Care suddenly stretched out her hands. Under the eyes of everyone, the hands suddenly became transparent. Then, they slowly sank into Yang Xinshin's legs. They slowly climbed from Yang Xinshin's legs all the way to her spinal cord. Yang Xinshin could feel something stirring inside her body, but that feeling did not make her feel painful. Instead, there was a feeling that something was being cleared from her body. Soon after, Zhou Care took her hands out of Yang Xinshin's spine. Along with it, there was a large mass of red mucus. While Zhou Care cleaned the dirt on her hands, she said to Yang Xinshin, Xinshin, you can try to stand up. The light in Yang Xinshin's pupils suddenly shook. After being paralyzed for many years, what she wanted most in her heart was to have a pair of healthy legs so that she could walk like a normal person. Zhang Yi couldn't help but look at Zhou Care and then at Yang Xinshin. Is this the legendary medical miracle? If Zhou Care can even cure paralysis, there is probably no surgical injury that she can't cure. This ability is simply too powerful. Lu Karen hurried to Yang Xinshin's side and looked at her with encouraging eyes. Xinshin, try it! As she said, she reached out and held Yang Xinshin's arm. Yang Xinshin looked at her legs nervously and then began to exert force unskillfully. The legs that had not felt for many years actually produced a kind of power at this time. Supporting her body, she slowly stood up from the wheelchair. Ah, I'm standing up, I can feel them! The girl shouted in extreme surprise, completely losing the appearance of the high IQ, sickly girl in the past. With the support of Lu Karen, she walked forward step by step, and soon adapted to walking. Yang Xinshin's eyes were full of tears, and she smiled and shed tears. She rushed over here quickly. Zhou Care had a smile on her face and reached out to catch her. But unexpectedly, Yang Xinshin passed her and dived into Zhang Yi's arms. Brother, I can stand up. I'm a normal girl now. Zhang Yi looked at Zhou Care with an embarrassed expression and wanted to laugh. Well, very good. From now on, you can walk with your own legs. After Yang Xinshin's leg healed, she was as happy as a flying butterfly. She ran all over the shelter for the first time and told everyone in the shelter the good news that her leg was healed. Even Fatty Shu, who was the most disliked by her on weekdays, was not left out. After everyone knew that Yang Xinshin's leg was healed, they all happily congratulated her. Especially after learning that Zhou Care and Lu Karen had awakened their superpowers, they were even more impressed that there were more talents in the shelter. Only Zhou Haimei was still an ordinary person, but she was very sensible, knew her position, and had no complaints in her heart. She was a smart woman, and she didn't crave superpowers like a young girl. Being a housewife, you don't need to go out and fight, and you can enjoy a comfortable life at home. Isn't that good? Zhang Yi needed her to be a spiritual therapist to comfort the lonely heart of Uncle Yu, an old man. She also fulfilled her duty very well, and because of her presence, the atmosphere in the entire shelter has become better. This is the ability of mature and intellectual women to liven up the atmosphere. On the other hand, Zhang Yi was very happy to see that Yang Xinshin's legs were healed. He couldn't help but sigh in his heart that superpowers are indeed very convenient and can do things that humans could not do in the past. Is this an evolution of a species? Although it caused the death of most people on the planet, the remaining people, as the fire, will become a stronger and more excellent population. I think I seem to have grasped the law of evolution. Zhang Yi leaned against the door, looking at Yang Xinshin running around on the first floor, and said lightly. Zhou Care and Lu Karen were lying on the railing on the second floor. When they heard Zhang Yi say this, they couldn't help but cast a curious look. Zhang Yi said, "In the past, I always felt that everyone's superpowers were related to their personal temperament. Now that I see the changes in you two, I finally confirm this." Zhang Yi raised his eyes and looked at Zhou Ke and Lu Keran. He said, Ke is a doctor, so your awakened ability is healing. Keran is a mechanic, and your awakened ability is related to machinery. Then can I understand that the awakening of this ability is closely related to your own abilities, or is it the power you want to get in your heart? Even, the stronger this desire is, the stronger the superpower you get. The two couldn't help but ponder after hearing what Zhang Yi said. Zhou Ke said, It seems that it is indeed the case. Uncle Yu's awakening was caused by the shooting, so he wanted to get a tougher physique, so his superpower is to strengthen his physique. Xu Chunlei's superpower awakened when he was on the verge of freezing to death, and he hoped that he could withstand the severe cold. As a martial arts fanatic, Teacher Liang hopes to get faster speed and stronger power. Now that I think about it carefully, everyone's changes are indeed related to their desires. Hearing this, Lu Keran couldn't help but look at Zhang Yi. So, brother, you awakened the space ability. Why is that? Is it because you are a warehouse manager? Zhang Yi's eyes narrowed slightly. What does he want most? It is the extremely strong resentment after death that makes him reborn. Because he has suffered too much from the shortage of materials in the end of the world, he awakened the space ability to stock up. So is his rebirth also a kind of ability? Zhang Yi subconsciously raised his hand and rubbed his left eye. This is indeed a very interesting idea. We must understand our own abilities better and try our best to develop them. Only in this way can we survive better in the end of the world. Zhang Yi put down his left hand, smiled, and waved to Lu Keran, saying, Keran, come here. There is just a chance to verify the strength of your ability. Lu Keran ran to Zhang Yi and looked at Zhang Yi expectantly. She also hopes to do more for Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi opened the different space, reached out and slowly took out a black bullet from it and handed it to Lu Keran. With your ability now, can you replicate the origin bullet? The origin bullet is a product of the Jiangnan Regional Headquarters. Even in the Jiangnan Regional Headquarters, it is a controlled-level ammunition, and only special soldiers such as members of the investigation team are qualified to use it. Its production process is extremely complicated, and the materials are very rare. Ordinary arsenals cannot produce it. It is said that this was specially built by the special department of the Jiangnan region to deal with mutants, and the quantity is limited. When dealing with Yuan Kongye, Zhang Yi got Bian Junwu's pistol. Although he returned the gun later, he secretly hid an origin bullet. Because this bullet has the effect of restraining superpowers, even Yuan Kongye, who is as strong as Ipsilon, her telekinetic shield will be pierced by the origin bullet. Zhang Yi has long been eyeing this special ammunition. It's a pity that Bailey Changqing and others would not be kind enough to share some with Zhang Yi. At this time, Lu Keran awakened her superpowers. With her mechanical technology and the ability to control the divine machine, Zhang Yi wanted her to, let's see if we can replicate the origin bullet. If we succeed, the combat effectiveness of their entire team will be improved by several levels. Even people without superpowers can threaten superhumans with origin bullets. Not to mention that Zhang Yi is a top sniper, and this thing will benefit him the most. Lu Keran reached out to take the origin bullet. The moment her fingers touched it, her brain quickly analyzed its material ratio. After a moment, she frowned slightly and said to Zhang Yi, "This bullet is very special. 12 kinds of rare metals are used in it. The cost of a bullet alone is probably not less than 100,000 wen. Rare metals, that's no wonder," Zhang Yi said. "How about it, can you replicate it?" Lu Keran's mouth curled up slightly. That was a proud smile. "In the past, it was impossible to do it with our production environment, but now, absolutely no problem. It's just that the materials are more difficult. After all, rare metals are not easy to find. I'm afraid I have to go to several major laboratories in Tianhai City or university research centers to find them." Zhang Yi smiled happily. "As long as it can be made, it's fine. Materials are not a problem at all. Give me a list of what materials are needed, and I will ask Xing Tian and Xiao Honglian to find them for me." Rare metals have many uses, and they would not suspect that Zhang Yi wanted to use them to make the origin bomb. Then again, even if they knew, what would happen? Even the Jiangnan region could not be so overbearing as to not allow others to produce the origin bomb themselves, right? At least the current Jiangnan region does not have this level of control. Okay, I'll send it to you right away. Tianhai City used to have a prosperous economy, and there were many scientific laboratories and top universities. Therefore, collecting enough rare metals is not a problem. Zhang Yi looked at everyone and thought, while we are still in a state of rest, we must quickly upgrade our equipment. The next time danger comes, the chances of them being safe will be much higher.